Sarah. I'm from the DC area, and I'm really excited to talk to you and to play in the Stranded game. I mean, my favorite season is, of course, Heroes versus Villains, but that's not a fun answer because it's everyone's favorite season. But I would say, like, my favorite season that not everyone agrees with is Blood versus Water. I'm a big Natalie Anderson fan, and I think, like, it's a spectacular season. So I have played in a few LRGs now. I've played in a total of five. None that have been like sleep overnight outside ones. So this is my first sort of venture into the wild. But I am sort of part of the Survivor DC LRG community. So that was my very first game. And yeah, and then I've played a few others as well. First time, I was just thrilled. I was looking for a watch party, and
cool.
I couldn't believe that people did this.
Yeah.
So I was really excited. The first tribal council I went to, third one in, I got idled out with one vote against me. So I was devastated.
No.
But they did the outcast twist, and I got voted back in with the most number of votes. And I sort of scrapped my way from the bottom to final seven. So I was like, okay, this went all right. I was able to pull a little bit of social game here, but it wasn't what I wanted. So
Yeah.
as I was sort of thinking about playing again, the big sort of takeaway that I took from my first game was the person who won. She was fantastic. She really started planning out like her final three pretty early. And I was like, I really, if people aren't seeing themselves with you at the end, then you're not going to get there. So like, I need to do a better job of that next time. So the second game I played, this was 3 days, sort of out in LA, and we slept overnight in an Airbnb, and I did win that game. So you, it was fun. I think there were some things I played really well, and there were some big mistakes I made in the game. I voted wrong at final six, which was totally avoidable. So I was pretty annoyed. Something changed at tribal, and I had like discussed in advance us changing the plan if something changed at tribal, but we weren't all on the same page, and it just was a messy vote. And I was pretty sure I was not going to win the game because I like messed up there. But yeah, so that was my win. It was a little controversial. There was a little twist involved that got me an extra vote at the end. So I like just pulled out the win. Barely. I mean, the main takeaway, honestly, is that I've never been like filmed before, so
Yeah.
I was wondering like how that was gonna feel and if I was gonna like it. So that's really what I was focusing on. I don't think I'm really doing any prepping. I feel like the previous five games I played are sort of the prep.
Yeah.
I have an idea of like how I come in and like to move, and some things I've done wrong in the past that I want to sort of correct moving forward. I mean, I want to win the game. So I am pretty competitive, and I don't think that comes off, but it is there. So I am doing anything that I need to get to that end and win. I think you can't really know how you're going to play because you haven't seen the dynamic yet. I've struggled from the bottom, and I've been part of like a dominant top alliance before. So it really just depends on what sort of bonds I'm able to make and numbers. But in general, the goal is to outlast as well as outwit and outplay.
Yeah.
Great question. I'm really hoping there aren't many prior players who know me because I have two wins. I'm like worried that I'll be sliced. But I think I would probably want to link up with them. I'm not, necessarily early in the game. I'm never looking to slice. I'm more looking to build. So anything you have in common, if that's like a shared experience from a past game, I think you pull that and you just, think about them later. Are they going to come for me? or not. But my preference is to play with people who don't know me. I feel like that's my best in. And so fingers crossed. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it always depends on when that happens, but ideally you're building in other options to make sure that you can sort of work with another side if there is one. In a previous game, I was able to start working with someone who I had been not working with pre-merge in order to get a little bit further. So I am very open. I don't hold grudges. I'm getting to the end in any way I possibly can. In that situation, I think that there's a few options, depending on what you've got, ideally an idol or another option. But if not, you just got to blow it up. And I mean, I think there's a bunch of different ways to try to do that, but you can't wait until sitting at tribal council to blow it up. You need to do it right then. So if you've got 5 minutes and your read is, I'm done, you've got to bring some fire. You know, I'm usually not in alignment with sort of really strong alpha males that think that they want to run all the stuff. That is not my my vibe, so that is not preferred. But in general, otherwise, I want to work with everyone, and I will definitely work with people that are not my vibe to get further. But that would sort of be the type that's not my favorite.
Okay, and then what would be like your ideal type of player? Like, oh, thank God, like all these types of players are playing.
Yeah, I mean, sounds so selfish, but I like someone that thinks like me.
Yeah.
I am sort of, you know, super fan, like to think I'm a little strategic, pretty social, someone who sort of likes to think and plan about maneuvering through the game. And the reason I like to ally with folks like that is because I feel like I can predict what they're gonna do. So I think that anyone in that sort of vein is always a top choice. My initial reaction is that if I'm in a good spot in the game, I'm annoyed. And if I'm in a bad spot in the game, this sounds fantastic. And so that's like my first read. I wouldn't say like, I'm definitely not a chaotic player. The reason people want to ally with me is because I'm actually sort of straightforward and clear. And I think I bring that like, oh, you know, mom is there, like she can do this sort of energy. So I actually wonder if this will be a benefit for me because in a world of chaos, I seem stable.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's put that to the test right now. I have a proposition for you. Chaos kind of starts right now, Sarah.
Okay.
So the game kind of starts. I want to know, I have a proposition for you. I will be giving you information for season 2 that will help you in this game. However, I do want something in return. So if you want to make a deal with me, I'll give you information on season 2. You'll have a leg up before you get into the game. But in exchange, I want your vote at the very first tribal council that you go to. And you have 1 minute to decide. And I want to hear your thought process.
Hardcore no.
Are you sure? Are you going to think about
it? I'm 100% sure. I don't need
no budget.
No, I mean, you got to look at it from my perspective. My archetype, chubby woman who would be on the older women's tribe in Survivor, despite the fact I'm in my mid-30s. My archetype cannot give up their vote early in the game. I can gamble a little later, but definitely not round 1.
Okay, well, you'll be happy to know that that was just a test.
I'm actually disappointed because I feel like this is the type of game where a lot of people would give it up. And if I have a lot of power in the first vote, I actually think that that would benefit me tremendously. So I'm disappointed to hear that.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you know, it was a test, but we just wanted to see your thought process and how quickly you can make split-second decisions.
Oh.
Because you'll be doing a lot of that. And with that being said, will Sarah survive being stranded? We're gonna see.
Hope so.
Thank you, Sarah.